Well, welcome to Discipleship Squared. This is a new ministry that's just starting, and the purpose of it is to provide apologetic information for new Christians or for pastors or people who are discipling others. Um, I'm Fred Donelson. I'm a 47-year veteran science teacher, and my desire is to help people trust the Bible. And the way this website and this YouTube channel are going to try to do that is to provide apologetic information on the accuracy of the Bible and also on the theory of origins and providing empirical evidence that helps us show that the Bible is really true. You might say, well, Fred, we have so many websites on the internet now. Why do we need another website? So the purpose of this video is to just show you a little bit of my heart and why we're doing and starting this new section or this new chapter. So let me share my screen here. So you're saying, well, why Discipleship Squared? First of all, what's Discipleship Squared? What does that mean? Well, one of my favorite verses is 2 Timothy 2:2. And if you've seen this before, this is the English version, I think. And what you, Timothy, have heard from me, Paul, in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. One of the things that happened in my young Christian life, I went to Otterbein College, and I had a friend who came in, and his name was Jimmy Robinson, and he basically came to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to share you everything I know about being a Christian, and all I ask is that you share that with other people." And the way he meant to share it was like this. The biblical principle of sharing and discipling people is like Paul shared with Timothy, but he didn't just share content and information with Timothy. He wanted Timothy to then share that same information with faithful men. And then he wanted those faithful men to share that with others also. So instead of just Paul and Timothy just having two generations, the idea was that you would have four generations that were actually discipled. And that was the principle, and that's the biblical model of discipleship. And so instead of just having two, we'd have two squared. And that's where the name Discipleship Squared has come from. Now, you say, well, okay, but why are we talking about apologetics, and why are we talking about information that is about related to origins? Well, there's been a couple surveys done just in the last 4 or 5 years that are really telling about what's going on in the church today. Barna, and I'm sure you probably know about Barna, but if you don't, here's the website that you can check it out. But he did a study. It was based on interviews with 22,000 adults and over 2,000 teenagers, and did them in 25 separate surveys. And what his research is showing is that religious activity in the teen years doesn't translate into spiritual commitment as individuals in the 20s and 30s. And that's, kind of scary. If kids are in church in their teen years, why isn't that translating? Here's an overview of the Barna research. 61% of today's young adults who were regular church attendees are now spiritually disengaged. They're not involved in church anymore. They're not actively attending church. They're not praying. They're not reading their Bibles. Now, 20% of those who were spiritually active during high school are maintaining a similar level of commitment. And of course, then you have about 20 more percent, 19%, who never were reached by the Christian community in the first place, and they're still disconnected from the church. So essentially, 80% of people in their 20s and 30s are not connected anymore to church. That's a scary statistic. when you think about 20s and 30s something, about 80% of them aren't even involved in church anymore. Now, another guy, Britt Beamer, did a study. He's chairman of the Americans Research Council, and he did an interesting study. It was about 100,000 individuals from coast to coast. He balanced the study out according to population and gender. Half of them were 25 to 29, half of them were 21 to 24 years old. And every person in this sample said they attended church every week or nearly every week when they were growing up, but never or seldom go today. And so he wanted to find out why that was. Well, students who regularly attend Sunday school are actually more likely not to believe that all the accounts and stories in the Bible are true or accurate. They're more likely to doubt the Bible because it was written by men, and they're more likely to doubt the Bible because it was not translated correctly. Isn't that interesting? Kids who actually went to Sunday school, and many of these churches are conservative evangelical churches, and today this is what they believe. Of these 1,020 to 29-year-old evangelicals who attended church regularly but no longer do so, 95% of them attended church regularly during elementary and middle school. But by high school, only 55 attended church regularly, and of the 1,000, only 11% were still going to church during their early college years. Now, this is really shocking because most people and most churches think, well, we help them know the Lord and we teach them information about how to become a Christian and how to grow in their Christian faith in high school and middle school, but then they go away to college and they lose their faith. Well, these statistics are showing that actually we're starting to lose kids by the time they get to high school. And in fact, that's where the middle school and high school is where the big drop off is. Of those who no longer that believe that all the accounts and the stories in the Bible are true, 39% had their first doubts in middle school, 43 in their first doubts in high school, and only 10% had their first doubts in college. So this is happening in middle school and high school years. Kids are starting to doubt the stories and the accounts in the Bible. Kids raised in the church are more likely to believe that God used evolution to change one kind of animal into another, more likely not to believe the earth is less than 10,000 years old. They're much more likely to question the Bible because they believe the earth is not less than that, a year 10,000 years old. And they're more likely to doubt the Bible because of the secular dates of billions of years for the age of the earth. So obviously, the idea of evolution is also affecting our kids, and they're not believing the stories and the accounts of the Bible. This Beamer study also showed that kids raised in the church are more likely to have heard a pastor or a Sunday school teacher teach that Christians could believe in billions or billions of years for life to evolve on our planet, more likely to question that the earth is young and the days of creation are 24 hours each. And they're also more likely to believe the dinosaurs died out before people were on the planet. In other words, they're basically believing in evolution, and this is really alarming to me because what this suggests is that we're actually losing kids in church way before they're exposed to some of the information in colleges. Here's some things that Brett Beamer found in his sermons here, or in his surveys. Do you believe that God used evolution to create human beings? 24%, almost 25% who attended Sunday school said yes. Those who didn't attend Sunday school, only 18% of them did. So actually, kids who are attending Sunday school were more likely to believe that God used evolution to create human beings. Same thing here. 27% of Sunday school people tended to believe that God used evolution to change one kind of animal to another. We're only 18% of them who didn't go to Sunday school. What these two things suggest is that the church may actually be contributing to kids not trusting the Bible and not believing the literal interpretation of the Bible. In other words, churches are failing to help students trust the Bible. And that is something that is new to research, and it's new to the church. We have been blaming other people for not for kids not trusting the Bible, and it may be partly our own fault and things that we're doing in the church. So what does that mean here? Well, what that means is that we need to be, as Christians, we need to be sharing the Bible, and we need to be sharing in our church about apologetics. We need to help kids be able to trust the Bible and in a literal interpretation of the Bible. The Bible's very clear about in Genesis that God created the world. He created it in 6 days. We don't know exactly how long ago it was, but more than likely, if you take a literal interpretation of the Bible, we're talking about, the earth only being maybe 10 to 20,000 years old. The Bible talks about a worldwide flood, and kids, even in middle school, are starting to doubt this, and they are believing the things that they hear in school and some of the things that they actually hear in church. And the church isn't confronting those things. They're not helping kids have empirical evidence to show them that the Bible is really true. And so that's the goal of this YouTube channel and Discipleship Squared. We want to provide information to help young people be able to trust the Bible, and help older people who are mentoring younger people to also be able to trust the Bible, and then to share that with others with the idea of discipleship over 4 generations of Christians. So we're going to be producing some videos, short ones. We're probably going to produce 4 to 6 videos a month, maybe a few more if I have enough time. And we're going to put them on YouTube, and we're going to just release them on a regular basis, probably, I don't know, maybe Fridays or Thursdays, something like that. And what we're hoping is that we can provide a place where people can get this information, and it can be a thing that can help people disciple other Christians. And it can also be an information place for students, middle school, high school, or college, where they can find out information, especially as it relates to the accuracy of the Bible and as it relates to origins. So we're hoping that you will like these videos, and hopefully what you'll do is you'll be able to, let me change my screen here again. What we would like you to do is to realize this: if kids don't believe the first book of the Bible, that they don't believe that that's true, why would they believe the rest of the Bible? And that's the question that I've been, confronted with in my own life. And, it's legitimate. If they don't trust the first book of the Bible, Genesis, and the creation story and the flood, why would they believe any of it? And it makes sense to me that they probably wouldn't. And so that's the heart of this ministry, to help those kids trust the first book of the Bible so that they will believe the rest of it, and they will come to a personal relationship with Christ, and that they'll grow in their faith. So we're going to be producing these videos. At the ends of the videos, you'll see a little thing where you can click on the video to say that you like it. And what we would love you to do is to like this video, just so that we know that we're being successful, and that things people are actually viewing it. But the other thing is, we'd like you, usually on the video, there's a little bell, and it's the subscribe bell. And what we'd like you to do is subscribe to this. And when you subscribe, you click on this bell. Usually you can make it black, and then you can have every video that's produced. And so whenever a video is produced, whenever I produce these videos, and like I said, I'll probably make 4 to 6 a month. What will happen then is that that video will actually, every time a new video is released, it will be sent to you, and you can then view it. And we have places for comments on there, or if you'd rather comment and send it to our website, that would be okay as well. But we would love to have your comments and to hear about questions that you might have about the videos, or if you like it, or if you're using it with other people. And of course, eventually, we'd love to have you share it with other people if you find it a valuable resource. So that's our first video, and we'll be posting some more shortly. And we hope that this will be a valuable resource for you. Have a great day.